Go ahead.
So here's where it's at with McKay and your drug court, okay?
Oh, wait a minute. 1 second. That's all right. This happens. If you would, Katie, do me a favor. Unplug, plug back in. If you'd cue up the video again. And press play, please.
So here's where it's at with McKay and your drug court, okay? They are looking for, and this is going to be upsetting, but let me finish. They're looking to pull your drug court deal and ask for 7 years on your 2 firsts. 5 years for the one felony, and then a 40% portion for the second, for 7 years. The only exception to that, and the only thing that they're willing to kind of help you out with, is if you can help us out with this.
And by so, he means like, give us the details that will ensure Kouri gets convicted of murder.
So that's what they said to you.
Yes. Yes.
And let me just identify a couple of people here. The first person speaking to you, telling you that, first he says, I talked to McKay. McKay is the prosecutor in Wasatch County Drug Court, right?
Correct.
McKay King.
Yes, correct.
All right. And that in talking to McKay King, you may be getting 7 years in prison on your state case.
Correct.
But if you help him out, that's not going to happen.
Correct.
And by helping him out, that means you need to give us the details that will ensure that Kouri gets convicted, correct?
Correct.
And you are willing to do whatever it takes to save yourself from getting kicked out of drug court and going to prison, correct?
I'm willing to go forward with the truth, yes.
And you tell them, I'll do whatever it takes.
Yes. That means incriminating me, yes.
But then you tell them, but I need a blueprint about what happened. Because you don't know what happened, right?
And I just needed, I guess if you want to call it a blueprint, kind of a layout of what was going on.
That's right. You said you need to lay out for me what you want, right?
Not lay out what they want, lay out what had happened or what.
Look at page 80.
Page what?
80 of the same May 2nd.
Okay, correct.
You need a blueprint. You need lay it out for me. Correct?
It just says a blueprint, yes.
All right. And then you said, I'll do whatever because you struggled really hard to get where it is. I'll do whatever it takes. Correct? That's not on that page. I'm asking if you remember that.
Sorry, yes.
It's fine. Okay, you did tell them that. And so they say, all right, that's great. We'll go to the prosecutor and we'll try and hammer out a deal for you, correct?
Correct.
Now, do you recall, and if you don't, you can turn to page 69, that during that meeting, Detective O'Driscoll asked you to write down everything that you could remember for your next meeting, to help out with the next meeting. Do you recall that?
Yes.
Did you ever do that? Did you write that out?
No.
Okay. I just wondered if that had happened. All right. Now, you tell them, and I think you said this again today, that After you got pills from Susan Kohler, the next set of pills you got were light green pills, correct?
Correct.
Katie, can you pull up Exhibit 1030? Can you see that, Ms. Lauber?
Yes, I do.
Does that look similar, or, I don't know, how close do those look to the pills that you received?
Those are darker green.
Okay, so the pills you got were even lighter green than that.
Yes, those are darker.
Okay. Can I admit that? For comparison, she says the pills were lighter than the pills in that picture.
No, Your Honor, authenticity?
I can blow it up bigger. It's just a picture of the pills.
Just a picture.
If it's just the picture of the two pills.
Tablets, yeah, that's fine.
But there's a whole lot of.
No, how about, can we just publish this? We don't have to, do you want to admit this as a redacted copy or just publish it?
Let's admit it as a redacted copy for now.
Any objection?
If we redact everything around the pills.
Yeah, I think
fine.
what we're talking about
Okay.
here is this, what's on the counsel and witness screen, Mr. Bloodworth.
She's redacting it in real time.
There you
Is
go.
there a second page? No, I'm sorry, is there a second?
No. Oh. I don't think so.
Yeah, that too. Can we- should we- If we want to publish the photo of the two pills now, that's fine.
Yeah, we'll mock
and
up,
then redact it later and.
Understood. Let's publish just the photograph of the tablets. Thank you.
Okay.
All right, pausing there for just a moment.
So your memory is the first pills you got from Mr. Crozier were an even lighter green color than that.
Yes.
Okay. Do you remember if they said anything on them? Like those pills say something on them.
I don't recall. Like I said, they were in a little plastic bag. I didn't sit there and count them and play with them.
Okay. Now, you now have a conversation with the detectives. We can take that down. Thank you, Katie. And they are telling you, well, you asked for blues. Do you remember that?
Yes.
And then they ask you, actually, some of the same questions I was asking you. They are asking you, you asked for, what are M30s? Do you remember? They were asking you about M30s and Roxys or Oxys.
I don't recall.
Okay, why don't you turn to page 90? It's over 90 and 91.
Whoops.
All right, and they're asking you about M30s. You see that? Are you on page 90?
I am on 90.
Okay.
What's the question, Ms. Lewis?
Yeah, what's
The question is, they ask you what M30s are, and you tell them that M30s are either Roxys or Oxys, correct?
correct? I'm not seeing the question in here at all.
All right, well, maybe you just remember. They asked you what M30s were, and you told them M30s are Roxys or Oxy, which is oxycodone, correct?
Ms. Lauber, I'm sorry, we're getting confused here. I need you to be more specific about when you're asking her, whether it's something in the transcript or if you're asking something based on her memory.
Okay. Do you remember that they asked you what M30s were? Or they asked you about M30s?
Yes, that's right here.
And you told them M30s would be Roxys or oxycodone?
Yes.
Oxys.
Yes.
But isn't it true that Sergeant O'Driscoll says, no, M30s are fentanyl? And I'm not using his exact words, but he tells you M30s are fentanyl.
Yes.
And you say, Well, what did you say? Do you remember? Is it there?
I don't recall.
Did you
Let's
say,
see.
oh, okay, see, that's how much I don't really deal with them?
Yes, with fentanyl, yes.
Okay, because you don't know anything about fentanyl.
No, not really.
And every time, we'll strike that. Kouri Richins, she never did ask you for fentanyl, correct?
No, when I had told her what Robbie had, she said, okay, go ahead and get the fentanyl.
That's your testimony today?
Yes, she did ask for, when I told her what I had, that's what she said, yes.
That's the first time you've said that, though, right?
No,
You told them that Kouri never asked for fentanyl.
in jail or, now I'm confused. Can you repeat the question?
You told authorities during the course of these interviews that Kouri Richins never asked for fentanyl.
Yes,
And you kept telling them during this interview that you got Roxy's.
the ones from Susan Kohler, yes.
They tell you that you got fentanyl for Kouri Richins, correct?
No, when I had reached out to Nicole Cummings, she would reach out to Robbie. Robbie's one that told me that he can give fentanyl.
That's your recollection today.
Yes.
That wasn't your recollection then, though, was it?
No, like I said, it was a lot to process. I can't remember. It was a long time ago.
Okay. But what you do tell them is not that Kouri didn't ask for fentanyl. She asked for the Michael Jackson drug.
Yes.
You tell them that.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't know what that is.
No.
And you Google it,
Yes.
and you discover that it's a drug called propofol.
Yes.
And propofol is not fentanyl.
No.
It's a sleeping drug, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
Ms. Lauber, we couldn't hear you.
Correct.
All right. But then they keep telling you that you must have given her fentanyl, correct?
I don't recall them saying that that's what.
You turn to page 124. And while you're looking, let me just, so up to this point, you've told them you got Oxycontin, Roxy's from, or I said Oxycontin, oxycodone, from Susan, that you, or Kouri asked you for the Michael Jackson drug, that you didn't know what that was, and then they tell you it's fentanyl, and you said, well, they tell you M30s are fentanyl, and you said, well, I didn't know that, just to recap. And now at this point, you say, well, I must have asked for fentanyl. Because why else would I have asked unless Kouri told me to ask for fentanyl, right?
Correct.
Ms. Lauber, I need you to speak loud.
Correct. Sorry.
And as you turn to page 125, you say, I want to say that is the only way that got in my head.
Correct.
So you're telling them, well, I guess Kouri must have asked for fentanyl because how else, why else would we be talking about fentanyl?
When I reached out to Nicole, she gave me Robbie's number. Robbie said that he had a friend with, I asked for the fentanyl, or he said he had fentanyl, and I had reached back to Kouri and said that he has some fentanyl.
Okay, we're going to come back to that because this is a new story today that you've never told before. But let's talk about the story you told on this day. This day, you said, how else did I get fentanyl in my head? Right?
Correct.
Ms. Lauber, isn't it fair to say you got fentanyl in your head from Detectives O'Driscoll and Maynard? They're the ones that put fentanyl in your head.
No.
Really?
Yeah.
Because up till this point in the interview, you've said no fentanyl. I don't deal in fentanyl. I didn't get her fentanyl. I got her Roxy's. I got her Oxys. Oh, she asked for Michael Jackson drugs. Oh, I guess I got her fentanyl. How else would fentanyl be in my head? Right? That's what's happened up to this point.
Correct.
And the only person up to this point who has put the word fentanyl in your head are these detectives, correct? Ms. Lauber, you're on the stand. At that point, they are the ones that told you it was fentanyl.
They're the ones that told me that Eric passed away from fentanyl.
They're the ones that put the word fentanyl in your head.
They're the ones that told me that that's where Eric passed away from.
Okay. But during this interview, you're very confused about what happened, because first you told them that you dropped the oxys from Susan in the fire pit.